Hello indie game fans, the end of May rounds off another solid month of releases, but don't sleep on these top 10 best new releases of the week, with some of these featuring absolutely wonderful music, beginning with Rhythm Fighter. When you state in the description that this is a horizontal action roguelike title, my ears immediately perk up, since you play as anthropomorphic heroes and have to defeat Commander Chaos, the most infamous Beatarian in the universe. Deductively, this looks like Crypt of the Necrodancer mixed with One Finger Death Punch, which I am all about, with awesome art, animation, action, and what seems to be a fantastic soundtrack as well. Love rhythm games and roguelites, so a no-brainer pick. The long-anticipated release of Wildfire is also here, where you play as a magic wielder, branded as a witch by the Empire, and have to get to safety, free the other villagers, and reclaim your home. On top of great-looking pixel art, this, interestingly enough, is a 2D stealth title where you need to sneak around and to take out the guards. As a master of the elements of fire, water, and earth, use these in clever ways to cause destruction, create platforms, solve puzzles, aid your platforming, and so on. However, this does seem to be an immersive sim in 2D, so all the freeform options of something like Deus Ex or System Shock in a 2D platformer, with multiple ways to get past a level and plenty of room for experimentation and creativity. Some highlights that I have seen on the developer's Twitter account is that if you are carrying an enemy who is knocked out, other enemies with bows will not fire, and if you do set a chicken on fire, it will run around madly, setting the grass on fire, which may then go on to kill your enemies. The possibility space in this seems pretty huge, so one that I'm excited about. The first puzzle game on this list is the minimalistic but beautiful Reky, using fresh technical drawings, aesthetics, and what seems to be quite the challenging level of logic puzzles. I cannot really tell from the trailer what the main puzzle mechanics are, but intrigued to give it a look. As previously mentioned, the good-looking roguelite shooter farming sim Atomic Crops launches in 1.0 and has steadily hit all of their early access roadmap goals. I really enjoyed the core loop back when it was first released in early access, but felt like the work in progress needed more content, so now is the best time to get back in. They have added a ton more enemies, more years of play, new crops, permanent upgrades, changes to the farmhouse, new farm animals, and more. It combines another two of my favorite subgenres, so this one is recommended. This one seems quite interesting since it is a timing-based rhythm shooter thing where you need to fire your sword shot at the right time in order to slip through enemy defenses. There's some degree of procedural generation, promising new enemies and defenses in every run, with power-ups and abilities that can help you along the way. It looks rather simple both in gameplay concept and the art style, but simplicity can be wonderful. Just a quick note, if you are new here and enjoyed the video so far, be sure to subscribe and check out the Discord channel while you are at it. Here's to more indie gaming coverage, so back to the video.
You never know how lucky you are when you have a perfect life. Everything seems to be taken for granted.
Wait! Don't go!
losing something makes you realize how lucky you are, then everything starts falling apart.
I'm not a horror game person by any stretch of the imagination, but I have to say that Those Who Remain does look very good. Set in a sleepy town warped by darkness and straining against the fabric of reality, stay in the light by any means necessary or face the horrific creatures that lie in wait. It is not all jump scares, since it explores themes of family, loss and mistakes, of being haunted by more than demons in the dark. However, there are also your fair share of monsters, but it does look great for a horror game.
A land butchered by war, afflicted by pestilence, terrorized by wild beasts, and abandoned by God, is in need of a savior. A leader with a strong hand who rebuilds the devastated lands and gives the people hope.
One look at Rising Lords and you can see that it bears some resemblance to Battle Brothers, and in a similar way is a medieval turn-based strategy title. However, Rising Lords explicitly takes place on a hex grid with additional card and board game elements as you manage your fiefdom by juggling production, diplomacy, taxes, rations, and combat. I do quite like the art, which does really remind me of a board game with deep management systems and strategy elements both in the kingdom building and combat. On top of the single player campaign, this also supports up to 4 players in multiplayer, but is releasing in early access with a small number of fully completed scenarios, so certainly playable and one to check out. The follow-up to one of my favourite puzzle games of all time in Polybridge 2 is also releasing, and sports the same low-poly art, chill music and puzzling goodness. Looks like more features and mechanics have been added, but given how much I love the original, I'm expecting to love this one as well.
Today is Agata's birthday. I hope she will like cake. SKYHILL Incorporated. Not a prime example of work-life balance.
2015's SKYHILL was quite the interesting roguelite survival title where you descend a hotel, scavenging for resources and fighting off zombies from a 2D side-on view. The sequel, SKYHILL Black Mist, is set in a similar universe but with a different character, where you have just moved into a fully featured residential complex, but things quickly turned south.
Dad, we were at Brandy's party, and there are some people. They broke in and started shooting everyone. I'm scared. Please help.
What the heck?
The Black Mist has fallen over the area, turning residents into dark, corrupted creatures. Your daughter is kidnapped, and your character is also slowly succumbing to the infection, staving it off with critical resources.
What are those creatures? How they got it here? Oh, it's warm.
You are dying, but I can't help you if you help me in return.
How much time has passed? It's hard to breathe.
Oh, we found her!
Stay away from my daughter.
Yes.
You are dead. You hear me? Dead!
If you can!
It is 10 times as large as the previous title, and seems like a very tense survival horror experience, where every bullet counts and you have to make decisions such as sneaking by or fighting off these horrid creatures.
You crazy bastard!
I'm not crazy! You're crazy! You don't even know what's happening here, do you? Do you? But he knows. He knows.
Who's he? What are you talking about? What is happening here?
Very Resident Evil in feel, since your employer is the suspicious biotech company that controls the entire city, SKYHILL Inc., so one for survival horror fans. I did promise you great music, and of course, Resolution absolutely delivers on that. Visually and gameplay wise, this looks very much like, say it with me, Hyper Light Drifter. But I'm not complaining since we could always use more of these. Escort a curious AI through the fractured future, with weird weapons and strange stories to experience. But seriously though, how good does this look? Absolutely stunning. This takes the #1 spot on visuals alone, with hopefully matching gameplay and music. To see more of the big picture, check out these awesome videos, and I will see you after the jump.